Hello everybody, DK Guillotine here, and welcome to my review of the SH Figuarts Frieren. Yes, finally. Alright, big long story time before we get into this review. I might even put a timestamp on screen for those of you who just want to skip right to the review, but this figure's been out for quite a while, so why has it taken so effing long for this review to come out? I'll be honest with you, I'm going to be completely transparent. I'm going to tell you guys everything about what happened with this release. And I'm also going to use this as my absolute golden opportunity to explain to you guys why I never watch anime as it airs. I always wait till it's fully aired to watch it. So I actually watched the first 14 episodes of Frieren when episode 14 aired. I had binge watched the first 14 episodes because I had finally decided to give the show a watch because I had heard how amazing it is. Frieren is by far the most popular anime that's come out in the past 3 years. And I had heard about how popular it was, and I went and I binged the first 14 episodes, and of course, I absolutely loved it. This is an absolutely amazing fucking anime. And I became a fan. And then I was like, okay, I'll go and finish it once it's all finished up. And the days and the weeks and the months went by, and I just could not bring myself to get to it, to go and finally watch the rest of it. And it's the same problem that I've had with so many things. This is why I never watch anime before it's fully aired, is because I lose interest, man. Like 24 episodes a week, 24 minutes a week is just not enough story for me to really, really latch on and want to keep coming back like that. And it's a big problem because, like, I never finished Shangri-La Frontier. I never finished Zom 100. I never finished multiple shows like that. Like, I just can't do it. I have to wait for the anime to be fully aired because then this happens and I lose interest, and then, yeah. So that's why I haven't watched Dawn to Dawn yet. That's why I haven't watched Solo Leveling yet. I actually did watch 7 episodes of that. One day I'll go back and finish that. Bad example. That's why I haven't watched ReZero Season 3 yet. Like, yes, that's how I work. I have to wait for it to be fully aired. Because if I had done that with this show, man, we would have had no problems. I would have binge watched the whole thing in like 2 days. But I recently got the desire to go back and finally finish it. But I actually decided, instead of just picking up from episode 14 and going there, I actually decided to rewatch the entire series. Because it had been quite a while since I had watched the first 14 episodes. So at the time of recording this, I'm on episode 10 of my rewatch. I'm absolutely loving it. I can't wait to jump back in. So yes, I've seen the first 14. By the time you're seeing this video, I will have definitely already finished the whole series, because I'm going to put Shinomori's video up before this review. I'm recording this before I even got Shinomori. So yeah, by the time you're seeing this video, I will have already completed the whole series. I will have watched the whole thing. Well, season 1 of the anime, of course. And that brings us to this figure. So I actually bought this figure right when it released, and I was planning on reviewing it, and then I think I actually took a break around the time that this figure came out. I took a break from YouTube. And I got this figure, and I actually did record an unboxing and review for it, but it never got uploaded. And I'll be honest, when I got this figure originally, I was actually pretty disappointed by it. I wasn't too happy with it, and I even tried to return it. Now, I didn't end up going through with the return. I did end up keeping it. I know I said in one video, I don't remember which one, that I had gotten rid of this figure. That was, I don't know why I said that. That was not true. I had just put her in storage. Because, yeah, I was kind of disappointed with this figure, and we'll talk about why in the review. But yesterday, when I watched those 10 episodes again, like about halfway through, I decided to go and get her out of storage and play with her. And I was actually having a lot of fun with this figure. And I decided, okay, you know what? Let's finally review this, because I hyped this figure up quite a bit, and then I never reviewed it, and I absolutely hate when I do that. Just know, guys, I know I do that a lot, and I absolutely hate it when I do that. Like, I feel so bad whenever I do that. So it always feels good to come and correct it. Like, I know I still haven't reviewed the Undead Unluck SH Figuarts. I still want them. I really do, but I'm kind of hoping maybe I can get them on sale at some point. Figures are expensive, man. So yeah, I always feel bad when I do that, so it's always nice when I can go and correct it. You know, right my wrong. And that's what I'm gonna do, because I had a lot of fun posing this figure yesterday when I got back into the show. Well, I binge watched like 5 episodes and was like, damn, this is a fucking amazing show. And then I went and got this out of storage, and I played with it a bunch, and then I binge watched another 5 episodes. And then today, probably like in a couple hours after recording this video, I'm probably gonna binge watch another like 10 episodes of this show. And then once I finish it, if I absolutely love it, which I'm probably is going to happen, because I've heard that the last like 8 episodes are absolutely peak. Some about some magic school, very interesting to me. Again, I haven't seen it past episode 14, so. Sounds hella interesting, but if I really, really love it, then I'm probably gonna go and pick up Fern finally, because yeah, I passed on Fern originally because I had totally lost interest at that point in time, and honestly, Fern does not look like the best figure. But if I absolutely love this show by the end, like I imagine I will, I might pick up Fern and then we'll review her. We will see. Not putting anything on the table. I never confirmed that I was getting Fern in the first place, so I don't feel bad about that one. But yeah, with that being said, we can finally get into this review. I'll put a timestamp on the thing for people to skip to that one, because that was a long one. Alright, let's jump into the review and start off by taking a look at the packaging right here. So here we have the packaging. It's very nice in my opinion. I actually really like it. I like the gold like lettering right there. It kind of reminds me of the lettering that SpongeBob uses in that one episode when he just writes the in really pretty letters, like he's supposed to write like the 800-page essay. Y'all know what I'm talking about for sure. Then we have a nice picture of the figure right there. We have Shop Pro 40, Tamashii Nation's Bandai, Tamashii Nation seal of approval, SH Figuarts. On the side we have an awesome picture of the figure right there. Frieren right there. On the side we have SH Figuarts. On the back we have a bunch of product shots of her showing all the accessories that she comes with. SH Figuarts Frieren. On the side we have that nice Frieren right there, and we have her funny face right there. Very cool. Like I said, I actually grew to like this figure quite a bit yesterday, so let's see how this review turns out. I'm still gonna go over everything that made me disappointed with this in the first place though. And let's just get the big thing out of the way right now. This figure is tiny. This is a tiny ass figure, not just the height, but like the scaling as well. For just immediately, here she is with Kid Naruto. She is so freaking tiny, like not just the height, but like the scale as well. Like look at like the feet and the arms and the head. She is such a small freaking figure, and that's something that I wasn't really expecting when I first got her and wasn't really too impressed about it. Like, she's just a super tiny figure. These are made at these are probably made at a much smaller scale than a lot of other SHF lines, because she was short in the show, but I was definitely expecting her to be a little bit taller. Although, honestly, I actually think the size might actually be pretty good. Just, I maybe would have preferred to be a little bit bigger, because it just would have made the figure a bit more fun, a bit more satisfying, and feel a bit more worth the price. Real quick, before we get into the sculpt of this figure, I'm going to ask you guys, this is an older review, so I would really appreciate it if you enjoyed this video, if you could please drop me a like down below, so hopefully the video can do a little bit better. So yeah, please, if you could, drop me a like down below, I'd really appreciate it. With that being said, getting in on the sculpt of this figure, I think it's really nice. Like, the green eyes right there look amazing. Her earrings right there look really nice. They look a little smudgy on camera, but that's just because we're right up on it. When you look at them in person, they look 100% fine. And you can see some nice shading in the hair here. You can see, like, some nice, like, darker, like, kind of like a blue, like a lighter blue going into the white right here. Like, you can totally see the shading in the hair right there. That is really nice. That is something you got to give this figure. That might be one thing that was keeping it the price that it was. We'll talk about that more at the end of the video. But yeah, the hair looks really nice. And then I love how they did the outfit right here, the nice gold trim around here. It's a little bit sloppy when you look right up on it, like you can see over here. A little bit of sloppiness right there, and a little bit of like some like marks or whatnot. But they're really kind of, they're very hard to see when you actually have her in person. They look very nice. And it is like a white, so. And like, especially down here, when I first got this figure, you can still see like some scuffs right here. It had a lot more scuffs on it when I first got it. But yesterday, when I was messing with it, I actually decided I took a Q-tip and I put some warm water on it, and I actually scrubbed those scuffs, and I was able to get most of them off. You can still see a few here and there, like some down there and whatnot, but I got most of them off. It looks a lot better than it did before, which is really nice. And again, it's a totally white thing, so you gotta be a little bit lenient on it. Like, it's not like Yusuke or whatever. Like, the scuffs aren't gonna matter too much on him, like those ones I talked about in his review that are on the back right there. It doesn't really matter on him because you have this like super duper like yellow. This is like a pure white right here. Looking at my collection, I didn't even realize that there's not too many figures that have like a pure white right here. Like, this is not something that you see in a lot of anime characters, so that's nice. It makes it stand out on the shelf. And then you can see the nice gold right here for the sleeve as well, and that nice red for that little button piece right there as well. Really nice. Same up here as well. That nice little strap piece right there that I really like. And then the legs and the boots right there, which look amazing. Now for the articulation, you have a double ball peg in the head right here, so you can go all the way up, and you have ball joints on these pieces right here that are super duper nice, and they allow you to move those around right there, which is super duper nice. I really like that. Now, these ones you're not really going to do this with, but you do get an alternate pair that I'll talk about in the accessory segment that are going to be more helpful to have those ball joints because you'll be able to like hinge them out, which is really nice. Now, getting to one of the big problems with this figure is this piece right here. So it's made of a nice, I'm going to pop off this right here just so I can show this. So this is a nice pliable plastic right here, and it doesn't really hurt the arm articulation in this way. Like you can see, you get a lot of articulation right there. The problem is actually the elbows, because she actually has almost a full double jointed elbow. Like you can see, that's how much the elbow gets, but because of this piece right here, it hinders it. Now you can, if you want to go the extra mile with this figure, you can go on eBay, and some people have made an upgrade kit that actually changes this into cloth, this and this into cloth, which is really nice because this as well is super duper hindered right there. Like that's just about all the leg articulation you can get because this is a super duper rough piece of plastic right there. It does not really have a lot of give to it. This is a little bit better, but even then still, it's still going to hinder your poses, especially when you want to pose or doing like cool stuff with the staff. So that's unfortunate. Now I will show this real quick. You are actually able to pop off the head right here, and then come to the back here, untab this piece right here. That's going to be glued in the first time you do it, so you have to pull that out of the glue. And then just come here, and you can take this piece off right here. Now, it doesn't look like good or anything. You can just pop the head back on. It doesn't look good because it's not supposed to be like this, like that, but that's going to show you that you can actually get a ton of articulation in this. Like the articulation for this is in theory really good. It's just that that piece totally hinders all of that articulation. And if you do replace this with a cloth goods one, it'll be able to get a lot more articulation right there. So just to show real quick, you got the full elbows right there, which is really nice. And then for the hands right here, these are actually, so when I first got this figure, I thought these were really bad. I thought these were not going to last long at all. I was like, oh no, these are so thin, couple switches and those are going to break. They've actually been really good. Like I said, I posed the shit out of this figure yesterday. I changed the hands probably like 20-30 times, and we have absolutely no problem. So I guess they're actually very durable. And you can see there's even some extra movement right here. You can see just the ball joint alone allows you to get some movement right there, and then you can use the hinges to get even more right there. So lots of posability in the hands right there. And then the torso movement right here, you can see you do get a little bit of torso movement at the front here. I don't think, yeah, that doesn't like pop up or anything right there, but you can get a little bit right there. Not too much. If you use the legs, you'll be able to get a little bit more right there. But yeah, it's not too great. I will say this joint was really loose at first, but I popped it apart, put some Kikis in there, and now it's a whole lot better. So once again, Kikis comes to the rescue. And you can see you do have a ball joint at the base of the neck right there as well. Actually, do you? I think you do. I think you have a ball joint at the base of the neck right there, although that's not going to work at all when you have this thing on right there. It might not even be there because I don't know why that would even need to be there. No, I think it is. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter, though. And then for the knees right here, you have a really nice movement right there. Not all the way double jointed, but still really good. You get a lot of movement right there. And then the feet can go up, down. Not too much up, but a good amount of down. Nice ankle pivot and a nice toe joint right there. Also, a quick warning. So if you decide to get a soft goods upgrade kit for her, I will tell you this. Only switch out this skirt piece right here. In order to switch out this skirt piece right here, you can see you pop her apart, and you can see that piece right there. You can pop that out. You can get that off of there. Only do this if you plan on switching it and never switching it back, because this is incredibly difficult to get this piece back in. I did it yesterday because I was trying to see how it would work if I wanted to go get a cloth goods upgrade kit for her, because I am thinking about getting one. Haven't decided yet. But so I took this apart, and it was a huge pain in the ass to get it back together. So only do it if you are planning on switching it and not ever switching it back right there. Just a warning. And real quick before we get into comparisons, I do want to say I think plastic quality and joint tolerances on this is really good. I always want to bring up plastic quality and joint tolerances, and you can see pretty much everything on this figure is great. Like joints are nice and a good amount of tightness right there. Very nice. I really like it. And plastic quality feels great if I compare her with like Yusuke right here. She honestly, even though she's a good bit shorter than Yusuke, she actually doesn't feel like any less heavy than Yusuke, which is very nice and very commendable in my opinion. Now for comparison, and I actually got this out of storage just so I can do this comparison. Here she is with the Figma Amelia, a fellow elf female character right there. I wouldn't exactly say waifu for Frieren. Amelia maybe, but I don't know if I'd call Frieren a waifu. I know some people do though. I do have an Amelia review on the channel. It's kind of old, so might not be the best. But yeah, these two look really good together. They actually scale very well together. You can see like the feet and the hands are all pretty nicely scaled together right there. So those two do look pretty cool together, I will not lie. And here she also is with the Figma Rimuru Tempest, which I think is a really good comparison for her because you can see these figures are actually pretty similar. One thing I forgot to say that I meant to bring up is that this figure actually feels very Figma-ish. Like, it's actually a pretty similar figure to Figma's. Like, you can see her compared with two Figmas right here. She kind of looks like she's from the same line. Like, even look at, like, the legs right there. They look pretty similar, right? So she actually does feel kind of Figma-ish. So yeah, she looks really, really good with other Figmas right here. And now, and now I do want to just compare her with Rimuru right here. You can see she's a very, very similar figure to Figma Rimuru right here. You can see she's a good bit, she's a good like size, and comparing quality, Rimuru feels a little bit heavier, but he does have a little bit more going on right there. So yeah, I think that's fair, but these figures feel very, very comparable to me. Obviously, Rimuru's not as hindered in the articulation. He's got these nice joints right here at this. This is such an amazing figure. If you're a slime fan, absolutely get that figure. It is fantastic. I think you can get it on sale most places at this point. But yeah, these two look great together. And two very overpowered magic users as well. That being said, let's compare it with some other SH Figuarts. Here is Frieren with SH Figuarts Yusuke Urameshi and Kenshin Himura. Here she is with SH Figuarts Tanjiro Kamado and Yuta Okotsu. Here she is with Mina Ashiro and Nobara Kugisaki. Here she is with Sasuke and Itachi. Finally, here she is with the amazing Yamaguchi satellite shooting star, Yusei Fudo, and the JoJo Super Action statue, Jono Giovanna. And with that being said, let's get into the accessories. And this is something that actually really made me change my tune on this figure yesterday when I started posing the shit out of it, is that she actually comes with some pretty good accessories. Starting off with the face sculpts, in the package we have a nice stern face, which I really like. And we have a nice smiling face. You can see the ears right here are all connected right there. I don't know why I found that, interesting. It's just different, I guess. But yeah, very, very nice looking right here. Then we have a nice kind of more angry one right here. I do like that they included this. This is not a very emotional character, but it is a nice accessory to get so you can have her posing, fighting some bad guys if you want. We'll talk about, like, the continuation of the Frieren line at the end of the video. Like, the future. And last but not least, probably my favorite face sculpt is this one right here. I didn't think too much about this one when I first got it, but then, after rewatching those first 10 episodes, man, she makes this face a lot. This was a good freaking face to include with this figure, and I really, really liked that they included this. And in order to switch the faces, it's very, very easy. All you need to do is just come to the hair right here, pop off the fringe right there. Pretty darn easy. And then the face is very easy to get off because you can just kind of use the ears right there. I will say, I think in my original review, I had a hard time taking the face off, but this is actually very, very easy to do now at this point. I'm not sure what changed there. Maybe it was just her sitting in the box for like a couple months, but it's a lot easier for me to change her face out right there. You can see with this one, the ears are also kind of drooping down a little bit right there. I love this face. This was such a great accessory to include right here. Now for hands, you have fists on in the packaging, of course. And we have a pair of relaxed hands, always appreciate. We have hands for holding her staff, also very nice. Very nice that we got one for both sides, always love that. I will always praise that when we get it for both sides. Very, very nice. Because they don't always do that, and they should. And last but not least, we have this pair of hands where she's actually praying. And I actually had a lot of fun with this accessory yesterday when I was posing her around. So, very, very nice as well. And in order to switch her hands, it's very, very simple. All you need to do is just come in here. Like I said yesterday, when I first got this figure, I was scared about these pegs. I didn't think they were going to last long, but I posed the hell out of this figure. I swapped the hands probably like 20, 30 times. And I had no issue getting these hands on and off. And I don't think there's any durability problems. It's very, very simple, and it seems like it's pretty well made. So that was a false alarm right there. So very, very easy to switch the hands right there. Now, along with the faces, you actually get another option. So you can actually pop off the pigtails. They're on a nice ball joint right there. They're very, very stiff, which is actually nice because it keeps them from moving around, which I do like. And we get an alternate set right here where they're just kind of straight down. So the ones that she has on in the packaging are just like, as I showed, they kind of go over her shoulder right there and rest, which is nice because that's how they look a lot in the show. But you can take these, and if you want to put her in some more like battle poses or whatever you want to do with these, they're very, very versatile. You can pop these on right here, and it gives the figure like a whole nother look right there. It allows you to get a little bit more versatility out of there. And not only can you do this, but you can, of course, also, you can mix and match them. You can put one on one side and one on the other side right there. So you can have one over her shoulder right there. She can be like looking over here and doing that. And one thing I want to show with that I also discovered yesterday that I really, really appreciated about this figure is with these ones right here. I think these are the ones I prefer. I really like how they drape over her shoulder right there. But when you you turn her head, you can see how it kind of comes off right there, but you can actually push it back and make it look a little bit more natural right there, which I really, really like. It really allows you to get a lot more functionality out of these pieces right there. I really, really like that. You can see like this one looks good, and then this one you kind of push that back right there, and it looks a lot more natural, which I really like. But I really like the fact that you get the option right here to have these as well. Very, very, very nice touch. And finally, probably the coolest accessory, you of course get her staff right here, which is super duper nice looking. Love how they've done this right here, even having the little ribbon right there hanging down. Very, very nice. The nice vibrant red for the jewel right there, some gold, and then the pole right here. Very, very nice, and some nice gold at the end right there as well. And if you want to have her holding it, it's actually very, very nice. You can disconnect that piece right there, so you have this, and then you can just thread this into her hand, just like that, and then plug that back on right there. And there you have her with the staff. Now, this is where the arm articulation really becomes a downer, because with this staff, you really can't like get her looking really good with this. Like, there's some stuff you can do. I was able to do a little bit of cool stuff with her yesterday when I was posing her around, but for the most part, she can't really do a whole lot of poses with it, and the hand articulation doesn't allow her to get like a going out like this pose right here. Like, the best you can do, like, you can even kind of see this, you can kind of do this, you can kind of do this, like, that's just about the best you can do right there. And we will talk about that a little bit more in a second, but I do want to just show here on the box, you can see they actually even show you right here, you can see like that, you can see on this picture right here, like, that's clearly what they're trying to do there. They're trying to have her do like an attack pose. She got that and the angry face on right there. So yeah, that's what they're doing, but you just can't do it because the hand articulation just doesn't have enough right there. It actually probably does. It's just that the pole goes all the way through and there's no extra engineering to allow it to go all the way down. There's not really anything you can do. You can kind of rotate it to the side a little bit, which allows you to get a little bit more right there, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad, but it's also definitely not the most ideal thing in the world. And it's unfortunate because along with the staff, they actually did include somewhat of a magic effect right here. You can see, I think this is Zoltruck. It might not be. It might just be a standard offensive spell, but it might be Zoltruck as well. I mean, whatever. It works either way, I think. And they did a really nice thing with this. This is actually a very well executed accessory because this is actually a very nice, I can't get it. Give it to me. Give it to me. There we go. This is actually a very nicely executed accessory because it's actually a very thick piece of plastic. Like you can see on the camera right here. This is not like a super cheap thin piece of plastic. This is a nice, thick, and durable piece of plastic right here. Like, this thing is actually very, very, very nicely made and very nicely done on the tambographs right here. Like, usually this kind of thing, I wouldn't even, like, bat an eye at it. I'd be like, oh, that's a throwaway. Like, for example, these things that came with the My Hero Academia ones, dude, like, literally, we look at these and we go, yeah, that's, I'm not even counting that as an accessory. Like, it's a fun thing that they included, but whatever. This, I would actually be willing to count as a genuine accessory, as something that does factor into the price, because they did a really good job on this. Like, it's very nicely done, and I really, really like it. And they did a great job with the stand as well. The stand is very, very nicely done, and it has this little section right there where you just slot that in right there, and it's very nice. It's not gonna, like, clip it or damage it in any way. It's very, very nicely done, and you can just put that in right there. And I will also say, one reason that I actually am thinking about getting Fern is that she actually comes with one of these, but it's a defensive spell, like a shield spell, which would be really, really cool because you could use both of these effects. You could use this with Fern, and you can use the shield effect with Frieren right there, which would be really, really, really nice to have right there. But you can see, you can kind of get somewhat of an action pose right there of her doing that. So like you can see here, you can have her kind of doing like an action pose right here, but it's not really, it doesn't, you can kind of do it, but because of the articulation being hindered by this section and this section right here, it's not going to look anywhere near as cool as something like, I don't know, like Yusuke or tons of other examples that just don't have anything holding them back from getting awesome articulation. Now, another thing you could do is you can have her double holding it right here, and this might allow you to get a bit more nicer. Now, you can still see it's far from ideal right there, but this is just how you have to work with right there to get this figure to actually kind of pull off these badass poses. Now, in all honesty, this is not too far off from how Frieren would look doing these poses. Like, again, she's not a very, like, active character, so this is not actually too bad of a pose, actually. Like, this doesn't look too bad, but it would have been nice if you could have got better, and again, if you were to go the extra mile and get a soft goods upgrade kit for her, you might be able to pull off some better poses. I'm actually very happy with the amount of accessories she has. Now, I will state a few accessories that could have been a nice inclusion, and because the figure's a little smaller, it would have been nice if they could have put these in. It would have been nice. One thing that she can do is she can spawn her staff just out of thin air. Like, it would have been nice if she had a hand that had like an effect of her summoning the staff. That would have been a nice touch, but honestly, that one was a kind of a whatever. The one that I really wish they had included, though, was her briefcase. She's often seen holding this kind of brown briefcase. Now, I have a couple of like black briefcases that I might try to make work, although I don't really think you'd be able to get them in that hand right there because it's closed right there. So it would have been nice if she had that briefcase. That would have been a nice thing to have and be able to display her with as well. They might include it with a future release, but with that being said, let's jump into the final thoughts. So, final thoughts on the SH Figuarts Frieren. This might be like my 2024 redemption story right here, man. I really was not feeling this figure when I first got it. I phoned in the review, I put it in storage, and I even tried to return it. So, I was not feeling this figure at first. I thought that it was like totally ruined by the clothes, by the super hard plastic dress and the thing there. And I still think those are issues. I absolutely do think those are issues. But I am actually having a lot of fun with this, and I'm actually pretty darn happy I didn't return it. I'm really high on the show right now because I just watched the first 10 episodes again yesterday, and I just absolutely loved it. Thought it was damn near perfect. And I can't wait to jump back into it. So right now I'm super duper high on the show, so that might have something to do with it. But I honestly am actually pretty darn happy with this figure now. I love the accessories. I actually think they did a great job with the accessories. Again, the only thing I really think is missing is the briefcase. That would have been a really nice thing to include. But other than that, I love what you get. I love the inclusion of this face right here. This is a very nice display option to have. I love this. They did a great job on the staff, actually. I really want to praise how they made the staff here because it's a very nice feeling staff. Like, the plastic quality feels really, really nice in the paint, and like this feels super good. Like, this does not feel like it will break. I really feel like this could actually survive like a lot. It's very, very nicely done. And even this, usually I would kind of count stuff like this as like a throwaway, but I really think they did a good job on that accessory right there. So I honestly think that's worth praising as well. And then even the hands, I like the praying hands right there. I didn't think much of those at first, but after messing around, like, that looks great right there, right? Like, this is a figure they really need to like mess with the accessories, really need to pose it around and really like use those accessories, and you can really get the fullest out of it. Now, that being said, I still think this figure has problems. I really do not like this right here. And again, if you want to go that extra mile and get a soft goods upgrade kit for her, I really do think that could improve the figure a lot. It is going to cost a little bit extra, which is why I haven't really done it yet, because I'm not sure I want to go all the way. Maybe I haven't decided yet. But yeah, that will probably improve it a little bit because you'll get a lot more articulation out of the arms and the legs. You'll probably be able to get a lot better poses with the staff right there, because that's another thing I don't really love about the figure, is how it's very difficult to actually have her looking like really, really cool with the staff right there. So yeah, that is that. Now, for my final grade on the figure, I'm actually like, accessories I think are great. Articulation in theory is good, but is hindered by the actual outfit. Sculpt is fantastic. No issues with the sculpt, and I do think it's a little small for the price. Like, the price of this figure is about $70, which is quite a lot. And in the realm of SH Figuarts, $70 can get you a lot. $70 can get you Yusuke, for crying out loud. When you put Yusuke up with her, it kind of feels like, damn, these are both $70. I kind of feel like this feels a lot more worth it than this. Like, those tiny little ball joints and whatnot, the size of the figure, the scale, like, you can see in just about every dimension, Yusuke is literally like double the size of Frieren, but exact same price and maybe even less accessories. Even if the accessories are very, very nice, I think Yusuke probably has more. And the hindered articulation, like, I feel like they could have knocked a couple bucks off of this figure. Same with Fern. Like, Fern seems very, very like mid, honestly. Well, we'll see if I end up picking her up and reviewing her, if she actually is mid. But I mean, you look at her, it looks like she can't do fucking anything. Like, you think this figure can't do anything. You look at Fern, like, how the hell are you supposed to pose that thing doing anything? And I do feel like they could have done better. I do feel like they could have put like hinges or something in here. It probably would have looked kind of ugly, but there might have been something they could do about it. Like, maybe put like a hinge in like the bottom, like underneath it, that you don't see up here. You just see like the little seam line right there, that you could hinge that up. That would have been nice. Or the much easier one would just be to go with the cloth outfit right there. That would have been much, much easier. And that probably would have made it feel a lot more worth the price. But as it stands, you pay $70, good accessories, good articulation in theory, kind of hindered by the sculpt, but it's just kind of small. Doesn't really feel like it should be $70. If it was like $50 or $60 like Kenshin, I think that would have felt a lot more worth it. And I do unfortunately have to factor that into the figure. So to the final grade. So my final grade for this figure, I actually think the figure itself, ignoring the price, is solid. And if you love the show, I think you will love it. I really do. I think you'll like this figure a lot. I think you'll be super happy that you picked it up. But factoring in the price and the issues that I have with it, namely the very, very like hard, the articulation that's very hard to work with, I think I can't give this figure any more than like an A-, and even then, I'm actually probably gonna go with a B+. I am happy with it. I really am. Like, I actually do like it quite a bit, but I, as an action figure collector, as a big action figure collector who have collected so many SH Figuarts, I really do feel like this figure could have been a little better for the price. But I do like it. I do like it. I actually think I'll stick with the A- because a lot of aspects of the figure I think they did a great job with, namely accessories and sculpt. But the other two, you know, bang for your buck and articulation, those are the things that are kind of bringing this down for me. So I do really like this figure, but I'm going to have to go with an A- for it. And as I said, as for whether you should get her, if you love the show, I can recommend her, but maybe try and see if you can get her on sale. Maybe see if you can get her for a little bit less, which I honestly don't know if that's actually possible, because I actually went and checked BBTS to maybe pick up Fern, see what her prices were, and Frieren is actually sold out on BBTS. Now, that was the only place I looked, so she might be still available in other places, but she's sold out on BBTS, which is another thing I want to talk about real quick before we leave. The line, the future of this line, because we haven't gotten another announcement since Fern. And it honestly does surprise me a little bit. I don't think Fern sold very well, but I mean, you look at that figure and it's like, of course she didn't sell very well. This thing looks like a paperweight. It does look kind of like a nice paperweight, but it still looks like a paperweight. But this figure sold really, really well, so I'm surprised they didn't make other characters as well. There's definitely some other characters they could have made, like Himmel would have been really cool. I would have really liked for them to make Himmel. Stark would have been cool. Not a huge fan of Stark, at least right now. Again, I've only seen the first 14 episodes, so we'll see if that changes once I've seen the rest of it. But he still would have been cool. It still would have been cool to get him to go with the others, and he probably could have been a little bit better because he would have been a little bit more chunky because, you know, he's a male. So yeah, I'm surprised they didn't make more of these, but they might be waiting for Season 2. I believe Season 2 of this did get announced, so maybe they're waiting for Season 2 to do some more characters. That could totally happen. Like, that usually happens. When a show gets another season, they usually make some more figures. But yeah, we'll have to see. With that being said, everybody, thank you all so much for watching this video. I know this one was a long time coming, but I'm really, really happy to get this one out there. I don't know how well the video is going to perform. I would love it if you guys could leave me a like on this video, because again, I don't know if this video is going to perform very well, because it is an older figure, and I'm finally getting my review out there. But it's fine. I still wanted to correct my wrong, even if nobody watches the review. I'm happy to get this review out there. So thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe give me a like, subscribe for some more anime action figure reviews in the future, and a possible review of Fern in the future as well. And with that being said, this is DK Guillotine, signing out. And now this hoard of treasure is mine!